Welcome back into the Sports Source, folks. This segment of our show brought to you by Safety Systems. Football season is just weeks away. If you want a prime viewing system this fall to wow all of your friends, call Safety Systems about their summer special this week. Look at that. 55-inch HD Sony television, wireless Sonos soundbar, all the equipment, all the installation, just $3,300 for Sports Source viewers. Folks, if you try and get all that stuff somewhere else, you're going to be paying at least $1,000 more. At least $1,000 more. Act now. Call Safety Systems. Ask for J.J. Surlis, the former Vol, who, by the way, will be with us next week on the Sports Source. All right. We've still got to tackle later in the show the Preston Williams issue. Got some stuff about General Neyland. Got some interesting quick slant stuff. That's all coming up. But first, I want to go over to the Safety Systems drawing board where Chuck Cavaleris is bobbing next to the Tennessee schedule for the year. All right, it's in order. You got Bowling Green, Oklahoma, Western Carolina, Florida, Arkansas, Georgia. Open date.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the season. Then the last 6 games there. Here's what I want to know, fellas. We're going to have to debate this a little bit. 4 acceptable losses. Let's say right now, Tennessee, you could lock in 8-4, but you have to pick the 4 losses. Which 4 losses would be most acceptable? Now, I tweeted something about that before the show. Had a lot of people saying all the non-conference games. Lose all the non-conference games.
Yeah.
Yeah. You 8-0 in the SEC and lose to Western Carolina, people are going to lose their minds.
You're 0-3 to start the season?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. What a great way to finish. All right. Do you lose early? It's always my feeling. Fulmer and Majors coached for a long time by losing those big games early and then tearing it up in November. Man, they remember what you do in November.
Yep.
In my world, I'd be looking so early in the season at losses. Your thoughts? Which 4?
Well, can I start off with my 4?
Is there an obvious one that everybody says?
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Lose to Alabama.
Alabama.
Okay, Alabama. 2 Alabamas.
Alabama's ranked really, really, really high. Lose to Alabama.
Tuscaloosa.
Well, I was going in order. Oklahoma, but Alabama are 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
Alabama and Oklahoma are
I
guaranteed.
think we agree on
I
those
would
2
lose to Oklahoma as well.
Chuck, you agree?
Yes, I agree. Alabama, for Bob's statement, I believe they're ranked number 3.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, the game last year there, boy, that was some big time talent difference I saw, especially at running back, some of the other positions. So these 2 definitely would be my first 2 picks.
And Oklahoma being out of conference doesn't hurt you that much.
Yeah.
I think it's the only acceptable non-conference loss.
Yeah, I think if you lose to Bowling Green or Western Carolina or North Texas, there's grumbling. Ask Bill Battle about losing to North Texas.
Yeah.
It didn't work out well.
If I can I go next?
Yes.
I would go
Chuck.
Georgia. I mean, I think Georgia is still clearly got more talent, more depth. That would be my next pick out of these selections here.
And I'm going to agree with Chuck. My next pick would be Georgia too. And for the exact same reasons. I think Georgia's still far enough ahead of you that it's not a crushing loss if you lose.
I've got a different take on it. I would go Arkansas because they're in the West.
Georgia's a tiebreaker.
See that, and I was thinking like the same line. If you beat Georgia, you still have an opportunity to win the East. If you lose to Arkansas, it doesn't hurt you as much. It's a hard call.
Yep.
Because Georgia is going to be ranked ahead of them. But if you said, who would you rather beat, I'd rather beat Georgia than Arkansas.
But then you're going to have a PR nightmare that Brett Bielema is going to be better than Butch
He's
Jones.
ahead of
and
Butch
Tennessee
Jones.
made a bad.
But
I'd rather beat Georgia.
If you can win
I'd
a
still rather beat
tiebreaker in
Georgia.
the East because you beat Georgia and lost to Arkansas, I think that would trump.
But here's the problem. All right, Chuck, what do you say? You say Georgia, right?
I said Georgia.
I'm with Mike and Jimmy. You guys said Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
I'll go Arkansas too, but the point is moot. Go ahead. I'll cast the deciding vote here. Arkansas. All right, so you're still alive in the East.
I know where you're going with moot.
Now who are you going to lose to?
Georgia or Missouri?
Yeah.
Missouri.
I'm going to say Missouri.
I'd say lose to Missouri.
I would too. It's a road game, but that's that late in the season thing, and I kind of course,
People get mad.
if you win 5 of your last 6, that might be okay. I'd go at Missouri.
Well, you'd be winning 4 of your last 5.
4 of your last 5.
I mean, the only 2 out of after Alabama, the only 2 I think would even be acceptable to lose to would be South Carolina and Missouri. It looks like you're kind of catching up to South Carolina, maybe even passing them a little.
Let me
So-
tell you
But
the
there's a
real
Spurrier factor.
And
with
here's
South
the thing:
Carolina.
as much as Jones has owned him, they're due against Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee's won 2 close games. So as much as Spurrier seems to be losing his mind over there, I think Tennessee fans better be very leery, even though his team's not expected to be good, even though they're coming here. I wouldn't sleep on South Carolina and Tennessee.
I wouldn't either, but if Tennessee beat South Carolina, I would see Butch Jones doing a cartwheel to welcome Steve Spurrier with the post-game handshake.
How about this? You lose to Kentucky because they're less likely to be in a 5-3 tie at the top of the East.
But here's the thing.
no,
then
no.
then
Ask
Butch
Derek
Jones.
Dooley.
Then Butch Jones is behind Malzahn, Bielema, and Stoops. Clay Travis would lose his mind. He'd be-
And you could lose to Missouri and still be in the East race.
Yeah.
Could.
Tied with
yeah,
Missouri,
if we
maybe.
think that Georgia's clearly the better team. I'll go Missouri. What do you think, Chuck?
I agree. I mean, and haven't we kind of gotten used to losing to Missouri?
At this point, 0-3.
And are they really in the SEC?
And they really in the SEC East?
I feel bad for Missouri because here's the thing: the first year that they don't win the East and they take a step back, everybody's going to say, "See, told you it was a fluke." They can't get any. I think it's interesting. They were ranked ahead of Tennessee in the coaches poll, and yet they're behind Tennessee, third place in the East to the SEC media. I don't think they get a lot of respect down here. I think they get more respect outside of the South than they do in the South, despite winning the East 2 years in a row. All right, so we said Oklahoma, Alabama, Missouri, and Arkansas.
Yes.
Those are your four. You lose to anybody else, be upset. All right.
You beat Florida and Georgia, pretty good.
There you go. That's something to hang your hat on. And you will have won 4 of your last 5. So you can say they kind of remember what you kind of did in November. All right, when we come back, Preston Williams is having to retake his ACT. What's the story? Come on back on Sports Source.
Follow the Sports Source online at sportsource.tv and on Twitter at SportsSourceTV.